Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast. Again, Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you as always on the show. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You like that as the open?
Yeah,
now?
why not?
Is that your opening greeting?
Yeah,
now?
I think so. You have the close, I have the open.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because if I do that open, I'm screwing it up.
So if you were in the mean streets of Parma at some point today, which we record Wednesday evenings, maybe you saw me ride my bike around, despite it snowing a little bit, and AA was riding bitch. So that was
No, so here's the funny thing. So you came around the corner. I didn't even know it was you.
Yeah.
I was just like this dude out here in Parma just riding a bike. I don't want to talk to this dude. I don't know who it is, but I don't want to talk to him. And he just roll right up, and then you introduce yourself again, like, oh, okay, that's Kyle. Okay, cool.
I'm on a health kick. So I'm actually down. I started lifting and working out mid-January, so it's been about a month and a half now, and I'm down about 20 pounds. So
good.
Trying to.
So what's your workout plan? What's the secret to the success?
So 6 days a week, I go to the gym. Starts with right now it's 15-minute run. I'm like eventually going to get to 20. That's my cap. I never want to run more than 20 minutes because of my knees and all that stuff. Then I lift for like about an hour, and then usually the bike for about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll walk for another 5 or something like that. So about an hour and a half every morning. Yeah, and that's honestly it. I mean, diet is kind of the thing I need to work on more.
Yeah.
Because I'll not eat in the morning.
That's the tough part.
And then at night I'll eat too much.
Not eating in the morning.
Yeah. And like I drink a lot of water too, but like I'll wait till night and then I'll have like 3 or 4 meals instead of just having one meal spread out.
Yeah.
A couple times a day. So that's an issue.
Well, the life hack. So Rebecca got me this calendar. It has like the life hack calendar. Gives you like tips and stuff. They say will help you prevent yourself from eating late at night if you brush your teeth before, at a certain time, say about 9 or 10 o'clock. You don't want to mess that up, so you won't eat again.
I'm like the opposite. I'll brush my teeth and be like, oh, you know what? I can't drink like Gatorade or anything like that, but I can have a glass of milk, and then like, oh, okay, I can have a cookie or two with that too, or something like. And it just kind of compounds all the way through.
So I'm working as I need to start some kind of a workout plan because I have a undesirable gut. I have and I don't know if video picks it up, but I have an undesirable gut.
No, because we get you from like the chest up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So right now you look fucking buff, dude.
This is not a stand. There's a reason why we haven't tested out the green screen over there yet. There's a reason. 2 reasons. Number one, there's a little height difference Pete has to work on, and then the second thing.
The Apple boxes are in the truck.
So. We don't have the boxes up yet. Once we
have
on
the couch.
Yeah, once we have the box and the couch. Once we have a couple of steps there, we'll be ready to go.
Oh, yeah. For me, of course. Anthony's tall as hell.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I have to work on maybe walking in the morning, before I start the day job. Maybe that. The issue is in the mornings, just let's go. Let's move. Let's get going.
You work from home for the most part, right?
I do.
So what you can do is, like, they have, like, those desks that can go up. And dude, I'm telling you, man, a treadmill is a great investment. Even if you don't plan on running, you can just walk and work. I mean, it's one of those things where people do that shit all the time. They'll end up walking for like 2-3 hours a day, and they're like, oh.
I know.
Oh, my God. Or, honestly, man, for like the gut stuff, the biggest thing is diet. Like, that's going to help you. Well, 90% of the time, just eating well is going to be just.
Well, and that's the problem. It's just, like, for me, like, right now, Rebecca, we do not live together.
We're also both on Taco Bell budget, so it's kind of tough.
We're on a limited budget. So, I mean, the problem is at the moment is just, all right, I know I have to eat right. I know, more green stuff, more veggies, more fruits and things like that. But, man, you find out the true ways of how America works, right? You try to eat healthy, they charge the living crap out of you to try to eat healthy.
So I have some life hacks for you, too, on that. So when you go to Giant Eagle, whatever it is, that kind of stuff, you're like, you know what, okay, I want to try and eat some healthier stuff. Just go to the frozen food section. The steamed vegetables, that kind of stuff, because they're cheap as hell.
Yeah.
I buy 5 packs of rice for like $10, and I have that with like salmon, or I have that with like, they have the packaged tilapia, whatever it is, that kind of stuff, like fish. They even have the packaged chicken now that you can buy. It's $20, but it's a big pack. So you can throw that in an air fryer, you can put it on the pan, whatever you want, in the oven too, however you want to do that. And that's how you kind of maneuver around. They have the steamed vegetables too, that kind of stuff that's super cheap, as opposed to buying a bunch of produce too. And it's like, okay, well, shit, if I don't eat it in 2 days,
You're screwed.
it's going to go bad. But instead, I can throw this in the freezer.
Yeah.
So when it's time for me to have my meal, I can pop through and do it.
I need to do a better job of I know it's ideal to do this. I just do a terrible job at this. It just doesn't happen. But do you do you prep your meals for the week?
So I tried a long time ago, and then it got to the point where, like when we first met each other back at OMS, so OCB days, whatever it was, because I was working at Marco's,
Yeah.
my day consisted of like going to school,
Yeah.
going to work, but all I had to eat that day was a big salad with chicken in it, or I go stop at Subway, and then I drank like 3.5 gallons of milk a week. And like I was down to like 235. Like I looked good back then. I was like, okay, cool. I felt good, all that stuff. Like, and I tried to like, okay, I'm gonna meal prep.
Yeah.
But the problem is like then I get like worried about, is it gonna be good in 5 days when I finally get to that last container? Like, and I get some people do it. I'm considering like doing like the factor stuff or whatever it is, like the preset meals, just from a standpoint of I calculate in my head how much I spend per week on groceries. And I'm like, well, if I look at that number and look at this for like the 10 meals or whatever it is a week, it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I can just do that, it's pre-prepped. I know how many calories it is. I don't have to worry about trying to guess if I put this in with that or whatever it is. It's like, maybe that's an option.
And this is important to note that as of this taping is February 28th.
Yeah.
Which in most years
is the end of February.
Would be the end of February.
Leap year.
Which means in most years with my daytime job, I would get paid today. No, it's tomorrow. So wait a minute.
So sorry.
My goodness.
I'm actually in between paychecks.
15 and 30.
Yeah.
15 and 31.
Hawaii was fun, but it kind of screwed me over pay-wise as far as, because my job is technically commission-based. So it's...
Yeah.
I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place now. So if anyone is looking to hire, let me know.
You know, Kyle brought up Pete 2015. This is when we met.
God, that's so long ago.
Brought 9 years ago.
Ugh.
This gut did not exist at all 9 years ago.
I could do a squat pain-free 9 years ago.
In fact, 9 years ago, even looking at some old photos.
Dude, I was 20.
This neck, skinnier.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it until, it happens when you do gain weight and it shows up in your face too.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's what the cardio will help. It helps you lose some of that
Yeah.
exterior fat that's like really unappealing, like around your neck, certain spots around your body that you're lifting. Like that will kind of help that with it too a little bit. For some reason, I've always been able to build like my arms and my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Can't build chest for shit. I could never bench, even in high school. Even when I played at Toledo, I could never bench. I think I maxed out at 205.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one rep struggling. Like, it was like, Would you think, big dude,
Yeah.
I should be able to get more, and I probably should. But
Yeah.
you
say you've lost 20 pounds?
Yeah, I was. So, believe it or not, when I started this thing, I was 325, which hard to tell because it all evens out pretty well in my body. I'm a tall dude. All jokes put aside from earlier about the green screen thing. But but yeah, now I'm down to just a little bit over 300. So it used to melt off a lot quicker. Just because it's 6 days a week too. And the day I'm not doing stuff, I have my games on Sundays that I do for the men's league in Parma too. Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm always doing something every day. Even that's why I rode the bike today to work. It was like, okay, well, I'm trying to just be a little bit smarter with that. Also, I just can't really afford to get another tank of gas yet. So whenever I can ride the bike when I can, we'll take a shot at that because I'm right down the street. It's not too far.
Is there a way to ride a bike from Bedford to here?
There's a way. I don't know if you're going to want to.
Yeah, you go right down Rockside.
Honestly.
Rockside turns into snow.
A couple hills in there, too, so you get a good workout out of it.
Are there sidewalks the entire way?
Pretty much.
But you're an adult, man. You don't ride on the sidewalk. You're riding.
I don't trust these people.
At night, I wouldn't do it.
At night?
Yeah,
no. I don't trust these people.
I don't trust them either.
They can't drive in broad daylight.
I'm
You
just
be talking about...
You have an iPhone, right?
Yes.
So if you put in your address and the maps,
there's
and you click a bike option, it will give you a route.
I don't trust those maps.
Actually,
it works. It does.
I know it works, but
Actually,
it
if we
doesn't
throw
tell me
back-
if it has sidewalks or not.
if
they'll plan it out. So
yeah,
you
if
can,
we
Okay.
throw back to the height thing, he could ride on the sidewalk. They wouldn't know.
Good. Good. Give me some kind of, I have two advantages. That, and when I get on the bus.
he's gonna rent the Lime scooter and just ride that sumbitch all the way.
Hey, those scooters in downtown, especially like in Columbus.
There's a
those
couple outside of
scooters-
here.
Those scooters.
Are they?
Yeah,
Those scooters
right
go
on the corner
hard.
over here. Yeah, there's a
Oh.
couple of them.
Well, there's right around the corner. There's a e-bike shop.
There you go.
There you go. Put this on tape here. Today's February 28th.
Yeah.
God willing, we're doing this podcast 6 months from now.
I would hope so.
So that would be. that
Hopefully
would
not
be,
the same podcast.
Well, no, that'd be very long. We set a record somehow.
We'll get a
called
few.
Guinness.
We'll get a few episodes in.
Okay.
August 28th, 2024. I will be down 10 pounds.
Okay.
Put that on tape.
How much do you weigh?
220.
And you're how tall?
5'6".
You can get more than 10 pounds in 6 months.
And I'm putting a lofty goal.
You're putting a very minimal goal.
Yeah, I think
Challenge
you
yourself.
You could probably do that in a month.
In a month?
You
I
can get
do
10
that?
pounds in a month. If you really committed,
I could get 10 pounds off in a month.
dude, you work. If you work from home, it's a little bit easier too because you're able to kind of control your schedule a little bit. Probably, I would imagine. So, pick a time during the day where you know what, I'm done.
I mean, my goal is to get down to 220.
That'd be nice. I haven't been 220 since I was probably either in middle school or 6th grade.
See, ideally, I'd be down 205-ish.
Yeah.
That's what I was when I got married.
Yeah.
And so, but I think, you go by those stupid BMI charts.
Which is
whatever.
bullshit.
I know.
When I was
hate
237, it
BMIs.
told me I was a beast at
Well,
Rite Aid. So I'm like,
yeah.
whatever.
Mine,
Like, yeah.
I'm just right at 6 foot tall.
Okay.
And mine is supposed to be 185. I haven't been 185 since I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
BMI's bullshit.
Yeah, according to BMI, I'm supposed to be 140 pounds. Which, yeah, that's not happening.
No.
But my doctor, when I went to the doctor last year, my doctor wanted me at 180.
That's a fair number too. But I think if you
So-
shoot for, I said 30 pounds.
30 pounds?
30 pounds in 6 months, you can do that.
Okay.
You can definitely do that. That's that's 5 pounds a month.
Yeah.
So let's get this back on tape. By August 28th, 2024, I will be down 30 pounds.
190.
That will put me at 190 pounds. We'll bring a scale. I have a scale at home. We'll bring it in. Boom.
So you know what I have to do now? I have to match it. I have to do something. So
We're going to do this. We're going to do
August
this.
20, 6 months from now, with the workout plan I'm on, the possible maybe new job I'm getting that's going to be moving furniture.
Yeah, that'll help.
That's going to help me too. Right now, I'm like I said, I'm at about 305 somewhere in there. 6 months, August. My birthday, I wanted to be at 260.
Mm.
So I'm going to say 250.
Okay.
So that's another 50 pounds in 6 months. But
Okay.
I mean, if I stay on the path I'm now, which month and a half in, I've been consistent.
Yeah.
Going either 5 to 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Once the season ends too, for my basketball season in mid March, I'll be
Yeah.
able to fully commit even more and kind of roll with it. Yeah, I think that's 250 is doable.
Yeah, and I got to be real about this too. I have a wedding to get ready for, too.
You do.
So, gotta look good.
You
Gotta
gotta- you
fe-
gotta-
got-
you got a
I have
year
to-
and a half.
I have to feel good, too.
That's the most
And-
important thing in all this too. I don't. So like, I'd struggle with this before too. And man, this is not wrestling related at all, but nevertheless, sometimes real life just bleeds through, folks.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
My back was a little sore today
Mm-hmm.
because I went crazy on legs and I had lower back and it was an issue. Like, there's limits and levels. And on a day you don't feel good, don't.
Yeah.
But mitigate in other areas. Okay, so just because I feel bad today doesn't mean I'm going to eat all this shit food too and go
Right.
down this rabbit hole where I'm going to lose everything, all my gains I had this week. Just that's okay. Well, today I need to eat a little bit more healthy because I'm
Right.
not going to the gym or I don't feel like I can make it to the gym or whatever it is. I even saw something. I think it was Liv Morgan said it. She's like, I've had days where I don't want to go,
Mm-hmm.
but I still just go to the gym,
Yeah.
even if I just walk around and leave.
You're
Like-
present.
I went there.
Yeah.
It's in my headspace, and then honestly, she's like, then I feel bad.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't do anything that day, it makes
Mhm.
me want to come back the next day and actually recommits me to
Yeah.
doing what I planned to do in the first place. So
I think it's just a schedule. It's kind of a schedule. Like these wrestlers, they know it's WrestleMania season.
mhm.
You know, like if you got a big wedding, coming off of a Hawaii trip, you know, like, hey, you got to get back at it. And these guys here coming off of the Elimination Chamber, they know now, all right, here we go. It is Mania season. And first off, I think now our matches are pretty much set, at least at the top. Our matches are set. Drew McIntyre, congratulations to him. Woo!
The best
wrestler of the year so far, Drew McIntyre.
Not even a joke. Not even. He is honestly. I smile every time he comes out, which is such a polar opposite from like a year ago, right? Because you were just kind of like, what the fuck's Drew going to do? And he had the triple threat match that was awesome with Sheamus and Gunther at WrestleMania and stuff, but it was like, is he going to leave WWE now? Now we're hearing reports that he re-signed and everything's fine.
Remember the first show we did? We were talking about with Drew.
Yeah.
You know, would he be one of those guys that would jump over to AEW?
His heel turn has been fantastic, and I told you why. He has not said one single lie, and he's been right about everything.
Mm-hmm.
He literally told Seth what's going to happen on Raw. He's like, you know this is going to happen, and he like laid it out. And Seth's like, well, maybe you're right. Like, and then of course Seth did cut the awesome
line alone. I can't do a Drew McIntyre impression, but yeah, I love that,
dude. It was, and you know what's funny? It's going to go down exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have an easy night at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
it's
gonna
insane.
They're going to open night 2 because Seth.
I don't know if that's going to happen because we're going to talk about this in a little bit too. There's been someone who's been working his ass off to get.
Yeah. You said
shape.
You got to get this on the show. You got to get this. So
I
like,
had to
because
I saw multiple TikToks
mm-hmm.
of this dude just pumping fucking iron, looking better than he did back in the late 90s.
58 years old
and still looks like my dad on steroids. I love this
Amazing.
dude. We're going to talk about him in a little bit, but that's
back to McIntyre.
Yeah,
the fact that he has set everything right, and remember the story arc we talked about before. Back when he fought Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel, back then, he wanted to win the honest way. He wanted to, be the man of the people and have respect. Other extraneous factors helped me win. Yeah, Jimmy Uso stepped in the match. Yeah, Logan Paul knocked out, Randy Orton. I took the cover.
He's still saying, like, you don't think I was upset about the Bloodline getting involved? I wanted to kick their heads off, but I'm different now. I've learned my life. He's learned from these previous instances. He's not forcing or, making something happen where he should get disqualified. It's stuff happening around him, and he's taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
That's why he's the best
heel
right
now. And he's not feeling sorry for it either.
No, he's like, screw this. I've taken my ass beatings enough where it comes to, not taking advantage of these opportunities or getting screwed over. If someone else is going to be as naive as I was, well, then screw you, dude. I'm going to win this. Like, he is the most likable heel, and that's why he gets pops when he gets cheered when he comes out. Because he's telling the truth. Like, he found the area where you can be a super heel and still get cheered and obviously still get booed in certain spots, like when he brings up the CM Punk shit or whatever it is. But it's actually pretty funny. But it's like,
and he's keeping that feud. He knows that's a money feud.
That's
money.
Survivor Series,
when
whatever it is.
That is money, and that's where all this really started. It was right here in Cleveland. It was that show when Drew came out. It was like, Punk, we don't want you in our locker room, and it was like an honest thing. It's like, and this is all rooted. And this is the thing. This is where we talk about great storytelling. We know the root and the foundation of your mission statement. We know the mission statement, and we know why this is the mission statement. His mission statement was, hey, 10 years ago, I needed guidance. I turned to you, Punk, for guidance. And you did this to me.
Yeah, he basically said, fuck off.
Yeah.
Or didn't pay attention to him.
Didn't
or just
pay attention.
Waved him off, whatever it was. Yeah.
And then further explain, well, yeah, Randy Orton, I also turned to him for advice, but Randy Orton was kind of, in his
He was going through his own shit.
He was going through his own thing, and I understood, and Randy took me through that journey. I'm cool with that. But you, Punk, you did this to me. And that's why you coming back and you're going to step into my main event? This is my moment. I took you out. I sacrificed myself at the Rumble so that you wouldn't be here. I prayed for this, and you ain't there no more.
That was every time he does a little setup. Jay, I just wanted you to know you're getting everything you deserve. I was like, that was fucking great. I was like, oh my God.
Punk, I know you're straight edge, So I had a cold one for you.
I drank twice as much for you and me.
Wow.
Like, that was great. Sat cross-legged in the ring. I was like, dude, what? Dude, this guy, he gets it. He gets it. And the thing is, too, McIntyre's what, like 38? Like another guy you can build for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy that if they haven't truly re-signed him yet, which we've heard they have, but if they hadn't, give him a fucking contract.
Yeah,
because you don't want that guy on that level now, the way he's performing, going to the other side, just because it's not going to close the gap, but it'll make it a little bit closer. Because he's got that kind of level now where it's like, well, shit, okay, he can take it there.
And they'll be intrigued. And that's a McIntyre. Let's just say he wins the championship. Rollins takes time off. That's a guy in McIntyre. You can have challengers come up to him. He can carry. God. He can carry programming.
Oh man,
he can carry Raw.
He's got built-in feuds with Sammy, with some of these guys. Where we can have programs all the way through. Gunther possibly at some point too. They have that history. Different situation now.
Yeah,
but I mean it's.
Oh, and by the way, he could wrestle too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was never the problem.
So he's delivering on the mic. He's delivering in storytelling, and then it adds up in the ring.
That was always Drew's biggest thing. Was he can kind of be a little entertaining, and he's a good wrestler, but like, can he get over the top on the mic to kind of propel him to make that full rounded character that can do everything, to be that next kind of face guy? And he had it for a little bit, but of course the pandemic came through, and that kind of stunted it a little bit as far as.
But that's part of the story.
It is,
and that's the great thing.
That's great. He took that experience and now is using that. And it kind of all ties into this whole thing where it's like, yeah, Seth, I'm gonna pin you. Like, if they hit you, I'm gonna get you. Like, I can't. I need to do this.
If you look back, Kyle, at the last 6 months of Drew McIntyre, if you just read on paper what he has done in the last 6 months, in a way, the stories on paper, the matches, they're repeating, right? He's facing kind of the same guys, and then it's kind of coming in a circle. But it feels fresh because he kind of lost to these guys. He had a different mindset, and now he's coming back and doing this again with a different mindset. Now it's with a killer instinct. It's back to what we talked about at the top. Like, oh, wait, you only want to lose 10 pounds? Go for the gold. Now come back around this challenge again, and let's do it again.
Yeah.
And go for it. It's a very relatable story. It makes you respect it. His methods, though, it works because his methods make you hate his guts.
That's the thing. So he's not blowing people. He's not taking chairs out and hitting people or doing the brass knucks thing of Logan Paul. He's legit having good matches to great matches, and someone else interferes because they have a problem with that person opposite him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, I'm going to take
advantage.
advantage.
You don't want, and like, as a fan, not evaluating whether this is a good thing or not, but as a fan, you're just sitting there like, how does this guy get all the good opportunities now? Why is this guy getting all the good? How's he?
That's what makes him the best heel.
It's like in sport. It's like in professional sports when the team that you hate, somehow, some way, the other team makes self-inflicting penalties.
Yeah.
And somehow, here they come. The Golden State Warriors are back in the NBA Finals.
It helps when the person that's doing that is believable and actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, McIntyre can win all these matches anyway.
Yeah.
He's that talented. He's that good in the ring and all that stuff. So to know that he could win anyway and have this kind of thing happen, it builds that perfect little bubble for him where it's like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's like, cool, okay, that works. Like, he can have that niche. He can get booed in those moments, whatever it is, but then still come out the next night on Raw and get fucking a standing ovation because he's about to cut a 10-minute promo that's going to blow the damn roof off the place.
Yeah, and make you hate his guts at the end of the 10 minutes again.
And Seth, with those two, is a great back and forth with him too, because Seth made a lot of great points as well. Something doesn't sit right with me on that. I still feel a turn on Cody at some point, just from all that hatred they have together. You can respect somebody, but still be like, dude, I still hate you.
With who? With Seth?
With Seth and Cody. I still feel something is there. Maybe it's like to build a program, obviously, down the road for when Cody possibly is champion and Seth loses to Drew and goes away for a bit, comes back, whatever it is. I'm assuming Seth will take a little bit of time off. I don't know about a lot, but I mean.
But there is doubt in your mind. It's like,
all of a sudden,
you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going so hard at this story?
Now, he's painting it well, but that's the problem. Seth has been so convincing before in the roles where he's backstab people and all that stuff where it's like, and it's Triple H. So he loves
Triple H.
he likes recycling storylines, but having them have like little twists or a little more like, hey, really sell this part, or instead of like before when you did it like that, try and do that, but like a little bit more like this. So like you kind of it changes it slightly. It's almost like you're turning left on a track, but instead it's like just a tighter turn or a little bit wider of a turn.
Well, right now with Triple H booking, and I want to get to this part when we talk about the women's stuff because I have some thoughts on that.
Oh yeah,
but there's a ton. The great thing about the Attitude Era was that there were a ton of layers to a story. In fact, every participant had some form, even if they weren't the main story, their involvement mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of it. It's not an A versus B story. C, D, E, and F all matter in the conflict between A and B. And I think that's what you have in the universe of the Bloodline. Seth has his own goals. But at the same time, like us as humans, right? We have to operate with multiple goals, right? We have to like this. It's not just, hey, I'm planning for a wedding. Well, I still have to pay bills. I still have to do these things.
There's like sub always going to be goals, and there's like certain ones you can pick and say, okay, by August 28th, I want to lose 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But I still need to pay my rent every month.
Right.
So there's levels to each kind of set of goals that everyone has.
So is it necessarily a bad thing that Rollins wants to, he respects Drew and has to win this has to retain this championship, but at the same time, if we don't take down the Bloodline, we're all screwed. All of us.
Because at some point, someone's going to come for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone's going to come to Raw and try and take the title. At this point, I don't know if The Rock's going to act anymore. So, I mean, because if he's showed the 3 straight SmackDowns, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Sound the alarm on that one. But, like, someone could come to Raw and try and challenge him or Drew for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, that kind of, I mean, that's why it was so good, because they both told the truth so well.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, just the way things have been going with Drew is just kind of like
he hasn't about to happen.
He hasn't told a lie yet, and obviously you're going to build to that program with Punk at some point when he gets back. And I pray to God it's smart because it's going to be one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little bit better luck with that as opposed to multi-man matches and rumbles and all that kind of shit.
Think of the merch that's going to be sold during that feud. Think of the merch.
I can't wait for the promos. Drew was 6 months in a title reign too at that point, 5-6 months, whatever it's going to be with the championship. It's going to be fun.
I saw an idea floated. Would you recommend, if somebody floated this out, would you recommend CM Punk being the special guest referee for Rollins versus McIntyre?
No.
At Mania.
One, because it's his right arm and he can't count to 3.
Yeah, he can't do the essential job of a referee.
Counting the pin, yeah. Yeah, you can't really do that. Yeah, he had to be lefty, which he probably could, but no, because and I get obviously wanted to involve him. I'd let CM Punk be a special guest commentator on either night 1 or night 2. I do Big E one night and I do CM Punk the other night.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because obviously you're gonna have Corey and you're gonna
that or hosting, you do whatever.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'd have McAfee host WrestleMania. I'd have Cole and Corey doing the commentary on both nights, and then I'd have their special guest being Big E and then CM Punk. That way you can get everybody in.
One quick side note on Corey Graves. First off, I think he's doing a fantastic job as the voice of SmackDown.
Does everyone else think that? I'm not sure. I haven't checked the wrestling community on Twitter lately because I'm not on it. But I don't know.
He's getting pretty. He sounds like a WWE announcer.
Good. Well, he's been there forever,
and that's why he's been there. You could tell during the chamber.
He wanted to do a little more.
He wanted some play-by-play action.
Well, he got in it, and he's like, okay, well, now I have to sit next to Cole and go back to color. That's the part that sucks. I'm sure at some point Cole's going to be like, here, I'll take it. Because he's done this for so long at this point. I'm sure he kind of wants to take a step back. That's part of the reason why he's only doing one show now.
Yeah.
But that's my ideal broadcasting setup for WrestleMania, so that way everyone gets a little bit of a role. Pat, obviously, is a fantastic entertainer. He's going to get the crowd pumped up and all that shit.
I still believe Pat's going to have a match. I don't know who. I don't know the story.
Host can wrestle.
Yeah,
host can wrestle. Yes, he can.
Yeah, they can.
Jinder Mahal.
We got precious time remaining.
I have a list next week because we're going to talk about this guy that we talked about a little bit before.
Yeah.
The 58-year-old dude that's been lifting like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my list of 5 people that he could face.
Okay.
At WrestleMania. Jinder may or may not make that list. We'll see what happens. That makes a little more sense for your America versus the. Yeah, but nevertheless.
Let me just say, Super Tuesday is coming up. Super Tuesday is coming up. You
guys ready to look like we're going back in the time machine 4 years?
4 years. Feels like 40.
Well, we wish. I would take the 40-year-old versions of both these guys before the 80-year-old versions. At least they'd be 40.
He's 76.
I would banging his head against the wall.
I would take the prices from 40 years ago.
I'd take the Price is Right. Dig up Bob Barker and let.
Man.
I don't want a PC. I want the whole thing.
Take any of those.
I don't want just a state. I want the whole country.
You want to talk about surge pricing? Never mind.
The price is wrong, Bobby.
Woo-wee.
Watch that movie on the plane. Love it.
That is a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I downloaded it on purpose. I'm like, yep, watching that.
When is Rock Cody going to happen?
Good question.
The Rock versus Cody. Cody challenged The Rock to a one-on-one match.
See, you think that this is going to be, you think Seth and Drew is going to open night 2?
Maybe only because there's a chance that tag team match with Rock, Roman, Seth, and Cody is still in play.
I don't think it's going to happen.
If I had to bet, I don't think it will happen, but I have to respect that it's still in play.
I think they're going to pull a Daniel Bryan and have Cody wrestle twice on night 2. The opening match will be Rock versus Cody. The closing match will be Roman versus Cody. But the Rock-Cody match is if Rock wins, he gets added to the main event.
Hold up. Say that one more time.
So remember how when Daniel Bryan faced Triple H?
I remember that. Yeah, and then the winner.
The winner of that match. Well, the winner of that match would get added
inserted
into the main event. It's a little bit different now. Now this could mean Cody technically loses that match.
So you're saying Rock Cody opens night 2?
Yes.
And then the winner gets inserted.
No. So Cody Roman still happens.
Okay.
But Rock and Cody wrestle, so that way if Rock wins, he can get added to the main event.
So it will solely be Rock. Okay.
So that way they can make Cody a loser. I think Cody overcomes both of the odds and ends up winning the match. He may lose that first match because of bloodline shenanigans, whatever it is. But the second match is when Seth will pay off. He'll be out there to help, that kind of stuff.
I think if that scenario went down, I would put Rock Cody on night 1. Actually, let me ask you this. How come, in your eyes, that would not be night 1?
I think it'd be more special if you wrestled twice. I don't know. Cody being. Rock, but like Cody, I think that they're trying to capture the magic of that kind of story again of the guy that wasn't technically supposed to be in that match coming into that match now. Again, Cody was supposed to win the Rumble apparently, but he was supposed to challenge Seth because Rock was back. Now it's the Daniel Bryan thing all over again. It makes a lot of sense to throw that match together. It could be night 1, but I think it'd be more special if it was night 2 because that way Cody gets screwed out of that match with The Rock. Everyone's like, well, shit, now it's technically a handicap match. It's Rock and Roman versus Cody. There's some dissension that go between those two in that match. Ends up costing Roman. Cody wins. Roman snaps on The Rock. That's your WrestleMania 41 night 1 main event is Rock and Roman. So they could still build to that match while keeping The Rock fully involved in that. He doesn't have to work too hard in the Cody match at the beginning because he'll have help. That kind of like Solo will be out there. Maybe even Roman comes out and like helps him on the side, as a distraction, that kind of thing. Making it to like, okay, so don't worry about
one of the all-time great wrestlers and Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Well,
we'll get to that.
Yeah, bullshit. But nevertheless, I think that makes sense storyline wise, and that way again you can get people involved later on. I think Seth and Drew right now they've kind of taken him in the Damage Control storyline, and it's kind of creeped up a little bit above it, in my opinion.
I think the Damage Control storyline, at this moment, is completely in the back burner,
which sucks because they were coming out of that Royal Rumble. We're like, wow, this is. And after the first promo with Bayley on that SmackDown talk, and she flipped out and turned on everybody, like we thought that was going to be a main event.
Yeah,
and now it kind of feels like that's going to open night 1 or night 2.
Well, again, still a ton of for that story, still a ton of time.
Yeah. Well,
and
I didn't watch.
Let's also see too. Friday, Dakota's going to be wrestling for the first time. She's cleared.
Is. Oh shit.
Bayley and Dakota in a tag team versus the Kabuki War. Like they're cleared. Like it's going to happen.
Shit. Okay.
So
I didn't watch SmackDown last week because it was pre-recorded.
I didn't either. I just saw the news that they're going to fight this week because I think they shot an angle something, but it's going to happen this
So
Friday.
did Dakota actually full on like get Bailey's trust back now, or is it still kind of like on thin ice?
I think it's about as close as to yes.
Okay, she must have done something to make it go okay, well, or whatever.
Well,
or just book her in the
Dakota
match.
was just jumped.
Oh,
And then
Bailey saved her, and then
Bailey saw her afterwards in a different scene, and yeah.
Okay,
So
I have it recorded. I probably should watch.
Well, I don't.
Well,
think
I could
to
skip
be
through
honest, I don't think anybody watched that SmackDown because you up at 5 a.m. or I woke up at 5:40.
I woke up at 5.
I
I legit watched the entire thing,
yeah, I woke up at 5:40. I dozed off a couple of times,
and then I went to work right after that because I work on Saturdays.
How about that?
worked in Canton for 6 hours after that too. So there you go.
How about that?
Yeah.
I don't think Rock Cody happens before Mania.
Really?
I don't think Rock Cody happens at Mania. I actually think Rock Cody happens at like SummerSlam. I think Rock is going to come. This is within the bounds of the Rock as a character. He's going to come out and say, "What the hell have you done, Cody, to deserve an opportunity to face me?"
I won the Royal Rumble back-to-back years.
But I'm the Rock. I need to see you actually beat Roman first. You need to beat the Tribal Chief first. Actually, it's going to come out. Rock is going to probably come out and flat out deny Cody's request.
Well, now, so Cody is hunting the bloodline, which is a little bit different. So now he's actually going, and I loved Cody's promo on Elimination Chamber, and I loved it on Monday, because now we're finally going to get some answers.
He was about to give the answer.
But he explained why he didn't do it, and why he hasn't blown up on The Rock yet. So I actually understood now a little bit more. What they actually talked about, why he stepped aside, now why he came back in. Like, he said, I could rain holy terror on this dude right now on the microphone. And I've been nice because, like everyone else, I was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets me excited because we actually get to find out some more. And it's about the patience thing. I understand that. But Triple H, too, it's the long game as far as this, so I can appreciate that.
But at least now there's parts of the onion that's being peeled.
We're actually starting to see what really is going to happen. And The Rock being on 3 straight SmackDowns, I have a strange suspicion what's more likely to happen is Cody and Rock wrestle on free TV.
I don't think so. I would love it. I don't think so.
I don't think you're going to get a clean decision. I think there's going to be some bullshit.
Happen on free television.
Neither do I, but unfortunately,
I don't think it's.
How long is The Rock going to be around for? Is he going to come back to multiple events, or is it just going to be WrestleMania?
I think Rock is committed, and for those who are rooting for SummerSlam here in Cleveland, you should be rooting for this scenario. I think I'm kind of being that serious here. I think you should be rooting because I think it's very possible that you see Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, which is favored to be here in Cleveland. So that match is too big for SmackDown. That match is too big.
You pop a big rating on that one if you announce it a week ahead of time. Get
But
over 2 million, 2.5 million, somewhere in there.
But
probably.
do you want to pop a big rating for Fox, who's about to drop SmackDown this year?
USA's like, do it.
But USA's not airing this. Then put it on Raw.
Well,
no, USA would have the rights to it.
USA's about to get SmackDown, right? So they're going to be like, yeah, cool. I mean, so anything like that can happen on SmackDown now. Great, we know that. Like, they're gonna do little Easter eggs like that, I'm sure, at some point where it's like, okay, this.
This is not what big comparable match there is that has happened on free television. Cena, Shawn Michaels, a few weeks after WrestleMania, way back when in London.
I just can't see Cody calling out The Rock, and then after the whole getting slapped in the face and all that stuff, being able to wait until SummerSlam to face him. I think he needs.
The Rock is gonna make him wait. And we will wait as fans. We will wait.
So at that point,
the
Rock's
bigger story. What did you talk about last week? That right now Roman Reigns is in the background of this story. Roman Reigns needs to be put back to the front of this story. If you have Rock and Cody before WrestleMania, I could care less about Cody and Roman Reigns.
The only way I think that changes and you're able to, maybe if you don't want to do Cody and Rock at a WrestleMania, is having it on a SmackDown, and if Rock wins, he gets inserted into the main event. That kind of thing. That's the only way you can make it make sense. That's the only way you can make it make sense.
Again, you're missing out on big business. Rock and Cody could sell out a stadium.
Yeah, probably.
Rock versus Cody. That's way bigger than
the title needs to be on the line, though. So you're right. If it happens at SummerSlam for the title, it makes more sense because it has to be that. Just the singles match, I don't know if that does it.
It could, because I think they're still intrigued with people wanting to see The Rock wrestle.
Yeah.
And then Cody is the top merchandise, him and Jey Uso actually, are the top merchandise sellers
Yeet.
of Raw. Yeet.
Yeet.
Pete's favorite wrestler, by the way.
Which, by the way, side note too with Jay, can you just like go off on Jimmy? Like I hated his promo on Raw after. Seems like every time I like the fan interaction. Yeet, yeet. But like sometimes it's my family, sometimes it's my old enemies on Raw. Like, dude, no, it's Jimmy. It's Jimmy. It's always Jimmy. It's Jimmy. It's your brother. Like, just like, what the fuck? Like, just call him out or go to SmackDown and whoop some ass. Like, seriously, like, what the hell's going on?
What is holding him back from calling him out?
The Rock, maybe. You talk about the different angles of all the bloodline shit and the different like layers and
Something
appeals.
is holding Jay back from because it
he
was
left.
very clear and obvious, as you said, why
He's losing all these matches.
he's losing all
Two
these
title matches now. He lost because of his brother, because of the jealousy of Jimmy not being in that spotlight and Jay
Mhm.
being main event Jey Uso.
So why? How easy is it to really call out your brother?
I'll do it right now, Brian. You mother no, no, but like we're running out of time. That's my only concern. So is he going to call him out 2 weeks before WrestleMania? Like, I mean, it's like,
Now, I do have one concern about this.
but because you know it's
feel-
him.
Well, I do have one. You're right. You are right. He needs to call him out. At the moment, this feud feels like a step down for Jey Uso.
Really?
It feels like a step down because Jimmy has been effing off for the last year.
He got pretty serious here lately. He's been doing some good shit.
Yeah, but Jey Uso was just competing for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, that's more of a reason to pull him in.
And Jey Uso has been really, again, Jey Uso, other than Cody, is the top merch seller in WWE. He is like one of the feature attractions of Monday Night Raw. Jimmy Uso is like, as far as priority on SmackDown.
Well, he's in the main event. He's in the main event because he's part of the bloodline. That's
But I'm talking.
also strange too because like
I'm not saying this match is a bad idea.
it's gonna happen.
I think it's going to happen,
Yeah,
and
it
I
has
think
to.
the match is a great idea.
Uh-huh.
But they have to find a way. Jimmy has to do this kind of himself. Jimmy has to elevate himself to where Jey Uso is at right now. Jey Uso right now is one of the top superstars in WWE.
Do they do that by having Jimmy face like Cody on a SmackDown or something like that, and having Jimmy find a way to either win or win by DQ or some bullshit? Having a win over someone like that, or like in like a, I don't know, like a Seth if he's true to be cleared to, whatever it is, like one of those kind of
Jimmy
guys.
needs to start being in spotlight matches leading into his match with Jay.
Just because they're connected, beyond the fact that it's bloodline, but that they're brothers too. I don't think it's as much of a gap he needs to fill. I think the story is, look at Jay, top merchandise seller in the company. He's fighting for championships. I'm Jimmy, dude. We were on a tag team.
I like where you're going with this.
Like, I'm just as talented as you, man. We're twins.
Yeah.
I look the same as you. I act the same as you with the same finishing moves. We both hit super kicks. We both do all this shit. I got people singing my theme song too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, jealous brother.
Yeah.
It kind of built-in story in its own right, whether they were feuding or not, where it's like you could always go to it. Not to mention the fact that it was always their dream to fight each other at WrestleMania. But nevertheless,
yeah. But we're just solely talking about it from on air, what we see on
Jay
television.
win. Now, here's where Jimmy could elevate himself if
Okay.
Jimmy beat Jay. That's where you can start saying,
wouldn't that
oh,
be something?
you could be like, oh, shit, okay, Jimmy is for real.
I'll be honest. I do not have in my mind Jimmy beating Jay in that match. In my mind.
It might happen.
But we'll see.
If anyone's going to put Jimmy over, Jay would. And then
I'm not convinced yet.
can we get new finishers for these guys? Listen,
What, you don't want to see a super kick again?
no, not even the super kick, like the splash. Like, dude, let's get creative.
Mm-hmm.
If Kerry and Cross can get a cool finishing move at some point now, I think you guys can find something. I like Jay's jumping super kick. That's pretty cool. That should be his
nice.
finisher.
Yeah.
For Jimmy, dude, figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can work with somebody, go down to NXT, whatever it is, in the Performance Center, find something, because this splash thing's getting fucking ridiculous. Good tag team move when they both did it. Now it's like, okay, a splash is gonna beat me, really? Like,
Well, this match beat the record. I don't know what the record is for most super kicks
No, that's gonna be Sting's retirement match. Yeah. With the Buckaroos.
Oh, yeah. And we'll honor Sting at the end of the podcast.
What a way to go out, buddy. Hell of a career.
Whew.
Get over.
Sorry, that's Ric Flair.
Yeah. Fucking wrestled 2 guys that couldn't even get over in Japan. Good job.
Apparently, that's his hand-picked opponents.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because he totally had a
I
choice.
can't even joke about that. We talk about the women because I think there's something interesting happening here. First off, very successful weekend for Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Very successful weekend for Rhea Ripley.
She got down to hold a koala. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, got that.
Featured that video.
Number 2, and we're going to play a video here in a little bit here. Number 2, very successful night and really a successful run here to this point for Nia Jax. I'm going to throw flowers at her way. Nia Jax has executed her role. Nobody wanted her back. And Triple H said, yeah, I'm going to bring her back because none of you people wanted her back. And she's going to squash all of your favorite people. And to Nia Jax's credit, she has looked dominant ever since.
I give her a lot of credit because I was one of those people that was like, it's not even I didn't like her. It's like she was unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
She was injuring a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to either get yourself right and get correct and think about, do I really love this and want to do it? Or just stay away.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're hurting people. And she has improved by leaps and bounds with a more dangerous skill set of moves, too.
Yeah.
Talk about sitting on someone's chest. This isn't Yokozuna. This is Nia Jax. So it's like, you get a little nervous with that. But she's done fantastic. No one's gotten hurt. Everyone's been good to go.
And she looks faster.
She's lost some weight.
She's lost weight.
Yeah.
She looks faster.
She lost 10 pounds in 6 months.
She did the job.
I'm kidding.
No,
you look great, Nia.
No.
Honestly, thank you. Like
she gonna beat that ass.
No, I'm not. I appreciate
No.
the journey she was on with that because it was posted, I think, on her social media too.
Uh-huh.
She talked about it, like, someone I think maybe Charlotte or someone like that was influencing her to lose weight and kind of do this whole thing.
Yeah.
To follow through on that and actually improve your in-ring skills too. Obviously, on the mic, she still needs a little bit of work, but like she's getting a little better on that avenue as well. Like, I'm thrilled that she's
Nia's doing her
what she's
job, and I'm saying, in a Mania, I predicted, when we did our cards, Buffer 2 back, I said she would be inserted into the into the championship match.
Card's looking pretty good.
It could happen.
Yeah.
But even if it doesn't, I still like, even if it turns out to be Nia versus Liv Morgan at Mania, fine. I still like everything she has done has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to Nia Jax. A very successful run to this point. And for her to be trusted to be the B-side to a Rhea Ripley main event at a stadium show in Australia shows a lot of faith that Triple H, Nick Khan, and everyone has in her progress and her improvement.
You mentioned the women's division. This isn't on the list, but I think it's a good topic to bring up, maybe touch on again later down the line too. A secondary title for the women. Because we're in this situation now where our 2 main events for the women's side, Bayley and Io, Rhea and Becky, most likely probably going to stay one-on-one matches, I would imagine. Though Nia could squeak in. I think it would make more sense just to have Becky and Rhea because they've been marketing the hell out of that matchup. And there's not like a fan swelling to get Nia in the match. They want to see Becky and Rhea. Having a secondary championship to build some of the younger ladies and some of the girls that are kind of like in no man's land, like Liv Morgan, she has the popularity now. She would make sense as a secondary champion. Have her be able to build that confidence towards possibly going after the main championship again, that kind of thing. It's kind of like if Bill Gunther, he was a star at NXT, but when he came to the main roster, it was kind of like, okay, he looks intimidating, he looks good, now what is he going to do? And, of course, he goes on this record-breaking run with the IC title, and people were like, well, fuck, he could beat Roman at some point. Like, building someone like that, having that title to be able to do that for the women's side of things.
And you could probably get away with it, not just get away with it, but legitimately do it now because now you have more women from NXT that's ready to go.
Look at the Chelsea Greens, that kind of stuff. Those kind of girls that maybe aren't necessarily...
Tiffany Stratton had a night in the chamber.
Oh, yeah. Like, those kind of...
Fans wanted her to win.
Those kind of girls, like, that are like... they're good, but they're not quite at the main level yet, but they're on their way up or they're starting and getting towards that. Indy Hartwell, some of those kind of wrestlers. It's like It's probably nice to have a secondary championship they could chase, kind of like the men have the IC in the U.S. to kind of build through that kind of thing.
I'm concerned about Becky. And we're entering a double turn territory here.
Really?
I think so.
You think it's getting stale again?
I think it's stale now. I think
the heel run was so bad, though.
I'm on Becky's side.
The heel run was so bad, though. I don't know. That was bad TV when she was a heel.
It was. Here lays the problem. The problem you have right now, and maybe it's a good thing, Rhea Ripley is so popular.
Yeah.
Like, ultra popular. She has it all. She has the look. She has the fit. Like, you want to be her.
She also doubles off of Dom, so when Dom gets booed, it's like a full reaction there, and then when Rhea comes out after that or talks after him, that's when she gets just this huge round of applause because she's the next person to talk after Dom.
Yeah.
So it's like they add a little bonus there, too.
And not to think like a Vince McMahon, sorry, but she
you couldn't if you tried.
She looks like a dominant figure out there as champion. Something's missing with Becky. Something is missing in terms of her mission statement. We talk about mission statements. We talk about getting after it and stuff. Something is missing.
She had it with the you may be better than me. Like that angle of the self-doubt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's been able to build the confidence back up, winning the AC, all that stuff like that. But if she brings that back, where it's like, I got to be honest with you guys, I don't know if I can beat Rhea, but I need to. Like if she has that kind of the self-doubt that was building, use that as the forefront of kind of where she's at. Like, you know, I appreciate the cheers, but I know she's gonna get some cheers too. That kind of thing. Like acknowledging, it's kind of the Drew McIntyre like lane of I know that other people are getting cheered more than me. I need to find a way to win that. I have to prove myself. I don't know if I can beat her. That kind of thing.
And I feel like, and I know we're not booking the shows, but I kind of felt like the way the writers felt way back when John Cena back in the day was facing Triple H in Mania 22, where all of a sudden you are booking this guy to be the face of your company.
Mm-hmm.
You're like he's doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kissing babies and everything. He's doing everything right.
Getting
you put him in the ring. You put him in the ring with Kurt Angle, who was a heel at the time. Oh, Cena's getting booed out of the arena. You put him in the ring with Chris Jericho. Oh, Cena's getting booed out of the arena. Nobody cheers back then. Nobody cheers Triple H.
That was just post Reign of Terror Triple H, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cheers Triple H. If we need to get Cena back on track, put him out there against Triple H. They're cheering Triple H at Mania.
I don't think that's going to be as bad as Becky still gets cheered pretty well.
A little bit, but it's losing steam. It's losing steam because Rhea's out there. And I'm so a couple things is going to happen that maybe could turn. And I think it's going to be a true test here in terms of fan reaction. Becky's going to face Nia Jax next week.
Yeah.
I think next week.
Is it? Yeah.
It probably will be next week.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Nia, nobody cheers for Nia Jax. I know we, gave her respect and stuff, but nobody cheers Nia Jax.
No, she's a heel, as it ever was.
Yeah. Nobody cheers for her. The reaction with Becky is it going to be strong on Monday? I don't know.
It was when she came out and interfered. I mean, they were losing their minds for her. So I don't hear it as much as you do. Maybe I need to get my ears checked, but so Rhea technically is a heel, but because she's been so dominant and so charismatic, and you can tell she's a star, she still gets the cheers because she's got the catchphrases, she's got the merch, all that kind of shit. That's why Becky works with her, because you can cheer them both. Like there's no wrong answer with that, because technically Rhea still is a heel, and Becky is the face, so to speak. But they both have gray areas they can go to, where Rhea can look like a face sometimes, and Becky can look like a heel sometimes.
But then here's the beauty of the Triple H booking. Becky interfered in Liv Morgan's match. Liv Morgan, later in the show, it's not all about you.
Little seed planted there. Yeah, I see that.
Seed is planted. So
Yeah.
eventually, they're going to fight. Let's see how the reactions are for that match.
Which is crazy, too, because I talked about, like, what are the women that aren't in the championship matches going to do? Because we could see, like, a Bianca and Jade Cargill match being on the card, too. And obviously, like, a women's tag team title match or something like that. But after that, there's no other, like, big feuds with the women. So, like, Nia and Liv, is that really a WrestleMania match? We just had it on Raw. Like, I don't know if that's
Right.
really, like, you're kind of stuck
Well,
at that
you
point.
threw in, you cheated, but fine. You threw in the showcase matches.
Yeah,
You-
but for
you
the
could
tag
do that.
teams, yeah, and that's how you build a bunch
You
of
could
people
do
in there.
that.
But Liv doesn't feel like, because I think she needs that be
Liv
involved.
is gaining support.
She is.
Liv is, and she needs to be better consistently on the microphone. She's getting better on the mic, but it needs to be consistent.
More confidence too.
More confidence,
Yeah.
more consistency.
Really own what you're saying. Don't just tell a story. Like be the story. Essentially,
Mhm.
at that point.
Yeah,
That kind-
yeah.
Let me tell you
If
something,
she-
baby. You
if
got to have a baby. You got to go all the way in, baby.
Gotta
You can't go short. You got to go all the way, baby, all the way to the end.
If she's able to do that,
My terrible impression of Dusty Rhodes, but nevertheless,
if she's able to do that, yeah, you can have Nia on the other side, maybe, and
In
then
6
maybe
weeks?
throw some. I don't know.
5 weeks now, whatever how long it is. I mean, it's tough, man. They're in a weird spot where their women's matches are going to be really good, but they've only got a couple. Like, and people are going to be upset about it. And we go, oh, there's 17, 18 matches at WrestleMania, but only 3 women's matches. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, well, we have deep women's divisions,
hmm
but we don't have a lot of the
Yeah.
feuds.
And if we don't, you're gonna end up on the Battle Royal on SmackDown the day before, and that's just
I put the Andre Royal on.
yeah.
So what? They used to call it the Mae Young thing before all that shit went down with her and some stuff came out. What do they call the women's
Before was the fabulous.
Moolah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe now it could be the call it the Trish Stratus Battle Royal or something like that. Or
Good.
make it like
I was wondering if she was gonna come back, but there may not be a story for her. You know,
oh the
but you could make a story.
the Zoe Stark thing is a thing they could try and go back to, try to build a star to Zoe. But I mean, I don't know. They're kind of stuck in.
Speaking
tag
of
team.
who could come back, we gotta get into this.
Huh?
There's a 58-year-old. Now I don't want to say, because sometimes when you say age, see, like Ric Flair's been old my entire life.
Do you want to do this clip? Do you want to do this clip first before we talk?
Oh,
about
I'm
that guy?
sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because it pertains to Rhea.
Yeah.
So we probably should get this one out of the way too, because she made a statement on X the other day, which was pretty cool. I'll let you kind of lead it in.
Yeah, so Rhea actually brought this to our attention. So Maxie Dupree, she's only had a few matches.
Yeah.
But she's on the main roster. She's at a house show, and take a listen to how the fans responded to her match.
So we can pause that, Pete, for a second.
Well, the clip is over.
Well, yeah, but I just want to read. I really wish that some of you got booed and ridiculed in the public eye while being new at your job. Learning and getting better is all part of being human. Be better as humans. Now, that clip got over almost 3.5 million views. With Rhea obviously, retweeting, or do they call it retweeting now, or sharing, or what do they call it on X? I don't know.
It's still retweeting.
What the fuck? All right, so and it's
All
still
the terms
and it's
are
still
still-
Twitter.com. You can see that in the top
all
right
the
corner.
terms are the same except it's X.
Okay, but nevertheless, like there's that avenue, and you kind of brought this up too. Maybe it'd be kind of nice to have someone just like show up at your job and start booing you for.
They would have booed me today. I would have been booed out of my own apartment, Pete.
Uh-oh.
That would have been real bad.
The sad part is with this too, like, so we kind of know what Maxine is right now. She's the comedy act with Alpha Academy, behind obviously Chad Gable, who is phenomenal and one of the better wrestlers in the entire world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be
And they're
professional
starting
or
his singles push again.
yeah, of course, with that whole like the Gunther thing and all that
Yeah.
too. Which who knows if it will get to that point, but we'll see. But she's made some leaps as far as just picking up some wrestling, working with him, and having that kind of background with like Tozawa and Otis and those guys who had been around for a little bit. Like this stuff, I mean, that's going to happen at any house shows, live shows, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to get people that boo you and say you suck. I mean, the fact that someone said it, I think we're kind of blowing this a little bit out of proportion because, someone just happened to record hearing someone say you suck. But if that was Nia Jax walking back into the locker room it would have made all the sense in the world, right?
Yeah.
But because she's a face, I think this is motivation for her
Yeah.
to be able to flip the script a little bit.
Let's cut right to the chase. And I understand, we're guys, so this could come off as sensitive. But it's true. First of all, if she's not ready to go out there, even in front of a live audience, like that's what the Performance Center is for. That's what that's for.
That's what NXT is for. It's developmental. People forget about that at the end of the day. It's televised, but it's still supposed to be developing your younger talent to be able to go to the next level.
Now, what this does show, first off, is that she is very well liked in the locker room because, Rhea responded, obviously. We showed the tweet. Zelina Vega responded. A lot of other Becky, a lot of other members of the women's locker room responded to that incident. So she is very well liked. And that's cool. But ultimately, there's a difference, and we both know this being in the public eye. When you take a job in the public eye, in a way, that's your evaluation. That's how you're judged. When you're doing news, if you said a story incorrectly, you're going to hear about it.
I'm going to get phone calls. I'm going to get emails. Like, what the hell was that? I'm going to get my bosses that run the station I'm at or whatever it is going like, dude, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, it happens. Get called out for it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
if I was doing a show for a radio station in town and I said something that people didn't like, or I was wrong about something that people didn't like,
you're going to hear about it.
I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to hear about it from phone calls. I'm going to hear about it from my boss.
That's why, like with this, I think, one, appreciate the fact that the girls stick together, that they have each other's backs through all this too. And obviously, you mentioned Maxine's well liked, so that's good. But two, if I'm her, I'm using it. So I'm going to throw an AEW storyline out there just because I happen to know about it a little bit. The Julia Hart thing.
Mm-hmm.
With her not really being trained very well, and now she's apparently TBS champion or whatever it is. Like, and the slow turn to the dark side, to a heel, that kind of stuff. There you go.
You could. And think about what's happening right now, too. Chad Gable is kind of splitting.
Yep. Otis wrestles like once a month now because he's a afterthought. Tozawa's the comedy act. They've been kind of doing that. She can get sick of it and be like, you know what? I've gone as far as you guys can take me. Now I'm going to do this on my own. And that's where she can start turning a little bit, getting more the people kind of like, oh, shit, okay, whoa. Now that requires her to put even more work in, obviously, when it comes to in-ring work and stuff like that. A little more confident on the mic, kind of just like Liv 2, that kind of stuff. But again, this is where a secondary championship for the women could be huge for someone like her.
It would be.
That could be like a spot where it's like, holy shit, she's coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's been doing some work. She's been getting better. And now look at that. She's a champion. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What? Like, it happened with Julia. She won, most improved wrestler in the bullshit ranking awards. I mean, that could be viable for her at least. But still, there's a couple of them that make sense. But nevertheless, it's like, that's the perfect opportunity. And it gets her on those shows to get more experience, to get better. Too.
Yeah.
So this thing is like, again, appreciate the response from the ladies in WWE, but at the same point, we're kind of over it. Like I said, if it was a heel walking up the ramp and people were saying they sucked, no one would have batted an eyelash.
Yeah, no.
But because she's a face, everyone's going to lose their mind because one person told her she sucks and she was getting booed. I mean, if you make mistakes, just like you said, you're going to get called out for it. Now, how does she respond? I think that's the most important thing. Professional athletes go through the same stuff. These guys are professional entertainers. Their job is to be flawless, essentially. But everyone makes mistakes.
They got to look good in the ring.
Well, if Donovan Mitchell goes 3 for 20 in the game and misses all of his 3-point shots, he may get booed a little bit.
Yeah.
You think he's going to, cry, bitch, and moan and not show up the next night or, be like, oh, what was me? No, he's going to get back in the gym, get his shot right, go out and score 40 points the next night.
So what you're saying is she needed Max Strus to come out.
Hit that half-court buzzer beater, baby.
My goodness. All right, let's get to it. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's the 58-year-old we were talking about.
Yeah.
Stone Cold. Yeah.
Stone Cold is.
He looks. Pete, if you don't believe us, look it up. He's fucking jacked. Like, it is insane. Pete's like half asleep. Like, dude, fuck you. But nevertheless.
So what? They're doing is he on TikTok?
No,
doing,
so
commentary. What's going on with that?
I sent you the video.
Yeah.
He's doing I think it's Instagram videos or whatever. I don't think Steve Austin has a TikTok. He may or may not. I haven't checked. But he's just posting workout videos, and he looks better now than he did in the late 90s. He's fucking jacked. He's slimmed down too. He's looking good.
I have this video. Oh yeah, this is on TikTok.
So,
I have this on silent. Pete, if you can you zoom into my camera here? or just this is Stone Cold at my shot right there.
Just pumping fucking iron, dude.
Look at that. It's just incredible. And there's commentary. We're not playing it for you, but there's commentary.
This guy, whatever, I think his name is it Taft Taylor or something like that?
Yeah.
He basically goes down the list of why he thinks that Steve Austin's going to be the one that interferes with Cody and The Rock and Roman, because he thinks that The Rock's going to come back to beat the shit out of or Stone Cold's going to come back to beat the shit out of The Rock.
Amazing. Look
Which,
at that.
we know, if we love Triple H, he loves that nostalgia pop, whatever it is, too. Stone Cold and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman.
I'll take that.
Little better than Seth. No
I'll
offense to
take
Seth
that.
Rollins. But that could be a night one main event. If you're going to have Rocky wrestle.
Look at the form here.
He's fantastic. Like,
This is unbelievable.
and this is the funniest thing, too, because he does look like my dad. Just like he's in obviously way better shape. No offense, Dad. But like, it's
Amazing.
in fucking sane. Like, it's honestly nuts. He looks so good. And he can wrestle. He street fight with Kevin Owens, taking suplexes on the concrete. Like, he's good to go. Like, that dude can go. One match every once in a while, in that kind of shape, especially if it's a tag match, or just.
If you go back in history of WrestleMania history, who's the one guy The Rock does not want to see?
So he did beat Steve, right, in his
The
in his
last
retirement
one.
match.
Yeah, the last match.
Yeah, he had to use a bunch of
But Stone
shit.
Cold he's 2 out of 3 over The Rock.
So he said at the end there's one thing the bloodline fucking hates, and that's the rattlesnake when he comes. I was like, he's got a point.
Yeah, it does.
Your buddy Steve is now your enemy at that point. And I
Yeah.
think Steve owes a lot of his career to like Dusty and that kind of stuff too. So that it makes sense storyline wise. And it's WrestleMania 40. I told you when we first did the cards, I put in but then took it out. Insert random Steve Austin or Hulk Hogan spot, whatever. Like, they're gonna show up.
Mhm.
They have to. But so why is he could be training obviously just for his health at that point too. He at one point was saying he was fat, out of shape, hate my life. Like, but so obviously he's doing that for that too. But I mean, if you're training that hard,
You ever watch his old reality show?
yeah.
Broken Skulls
When
Challenge.
he was in Cleveland too, he had that show at Baker when they did the go karts around Cleveland Brown
Oh,
Stadium.
that
It was
funny. That
nuts.
was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Back when Baker was popular in Cleveland, yeah, it was fantastic.
Man, those were the Pete's like those were the good days.
Uh,
Can you imagine that was 4 years ago? That was 4 years ago.
that's pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Or
Or
no,
like- Was it during? So it
the
came out
playoff
during
run
COVID.
was during COVID
Yeah.
because
So I think they filmed all that stuff before COVID got bad. Yeah, whatever it was. But yeah, it was, dude.
I love his the Broken Skull Challenge. I pop in Pluto TV sometimes, and when that show's on, I can easily get through like 3
His
episodes.
podcast too, with the interviews and all that stuff, is always entertaining. They should do more of them, I think. But he's
Him and Jericho were actually probably ahead of the game for what obviously what we're doing, LPV Productions. But him and Jericho, their shows, and I love like Stone Cold had the family friendly, and then I curse up a storm version. Actually, I got an idea. I don't know if the rules would allow this though.
we have rules.
Well, there's video YouTube rules, but Stone Cold used to do like watch-alongs.
Yeah.
But like his was different. Like, so he did a watch-along for his match with The Rock at Mania 17.
Okay.
And he broke down, I think it was him and Rock, either him and Rock or just him, but they broke down every second, every detail of the match.
Okay.
And they popped in, and they did the watch-along.
So I think it's a little bit easier for them because they're part of the company.
They're part of the company and they're part of the making of the match.
So now with like TikTok, I know Santi's app is one guy that does like he'll every Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, whatever NXT, AEW shows. Sometimes he'll have the clips up because he does like live streams and he'll watch, and he'll post it on Twitch, and then he'll have like clips he'll throw on TikTok and YouTube and all that shit. There's ways around it.
Yeah.
But he also does it full time. So
Yeah, that would be
we kind of
full-time.
have other things to do with our lives that
We do.
can't. Usually.
Is it the 29th yet?
Getting close.
Pete's like, dude, calm the fuck on.
Is it the 29th yet? So I hope Stone comes back. We'll see. The story has to make sense.
Yeah.
He has to have a reason to be there.
Hell of a reason.
You know.
Well, also,
so-
it's just WrestleMania 40. Like, it's a round number. You like to kind of make those ones the big ones, right? 30 was the Daniel Bryan storyline. and all that stuff. It felt like huge. Undertaker's streak getting broken. There was big moments. I'm imagining there's going to be some pretty big moments this time around too. I saw a meme that had all 4 major titles changing, which is very possible.
Yeah.
Bayley could beat Io, Becky could beat Rhea, Cody could beat Roman, and Drew could beat Seth. So very likely could have 4 new champions. Because what's the streak of like pay-per-views now where every champion just keep winning?
Yeah.
When's the last time a champion lost the title?
Probably,
Any of those 4?
Yeah.
It's been a fucking Rhea, Roman obviously, and Seth have been champion for at least a year altogether, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Roman's got the 3-year thing, but Seth was a month after WrestleMania, right, at Crown Jewel or whatever
The
it was.
Saudi Arabia pay-per-view.
And then Rhea was WrestleMania. So she's been champ for almost a full year.
Yeah.
Or Seth's been champ for like 10 months, whatever it's been.
Io Sky, by the way, has been champion for well over 200 days.
Yeah, so all 3 long title reigns,
Yeah.
like all 4. I mean, we could
We're
be
not
started.
even
We could be
talking
started
about
over.
the
Yeah.
IC championship. We're not even talking about Logan Paul.
Well, Logan Paul's a little sooner.
Logan, yeah, his is a bit sooner. By
Well,
again, no standards.
3-4 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a mini reign compared to what they had fucking going on, but it's about that time. It really is.
Yeah, it could be. We're a little short on time, so a couple of things here. First off, the news, the great newsletter
The Wrestling Observer Awards for 2023
has some awards. So I'll point out some ones that are interesting here. So the 2023 Best Weekly Television Show. Number 3 was SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was AEW Collision.
How?
Number 1, AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, see, these are the Wrestling Observer Awards. These are the Dave Meltzer Awards, essentially, and there's votes next to these names.
As voted by Observer readers.
So it's all people that love AEW. Because no WWE fans subscribe to the Observer newsletter. And if they do, it's like 10%, and it's very small.
Dynamite received 430 first place votes. Now, SmackDown actually received the second most first place votes at 128, but somehow, some way, Collision had more total votes, and Collision came in second.
This is a bunch of bullshit. Like these results and awards mean absolutely nothing. But it's like there's a couple that make sense. I don't see the Will Ospreay appeal yet. I don't know if that's just me. I just haven't watched enough of him to really know. I know
he
he
came
just
back tonight. I mean, at the taping, before we started taping, he came back.
Freddie Kitchens, whoop de hell.
He's gonna face some guy from the CMLL.
Did he pop a rating for him? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, like it's they assume everyone knows this person, but in tow, it's just their core fan base who knows who he is.
Yeah.
I would ask the average American wrestling fan, hey, do you know who Will Ospreay is? They'll be like,
No.
You know who Triple H is? Oh, yeah, the dude that does like the water thing. Yeah. Like they know who the fuck he is. And I'm not saying it's AEW's fault necessarily because it is,
But again, they don't
do anything.
We talk about it all the time.
Well, the O'Shea Jackson clip is getting a lot of views because it's like, yeah, what the hell? Like doesn't make any sense. He won Most Outstanding Wrestler and Wrestler of the Year. Will Ospreay did. Cody finished second in that category too, right? I'm just going down. Tag Team of the Year, FTR. That makes sense. They're a good tag team.
Yeah.
Anywhere they go, they're good. Kevin and Sammy second. That made sense. Best on interviews. Eddie Kingston.
I like Eddie.
Not that I don't like Eddie,
But
but MJF is the person that should win that. But that's if you're going to give it to an AEW guy. But then this is where it gets fucking
he
weird.
might have been docked because he was a babyface.
Whatever. Doesn't make any fucking sense. This is where it doesn't make sense either, too. Promotion of the year, WWE. AEW is second, New Japan is third. But then, best weekly TV show is Dynamite and Collision before SmackDown.
Can I give you this one? Most disgusting promotional tactic.
This may be the only one that actually makes sense.
Number 1, WWE enabling Vince McMahon and him being back in power, plus TKO, keeping him in position of power. And then there's others. So, number 2, WWE's continued relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Number 3, my personal favorite. Number 3, NWA doing a cocaine spot at a pay-per-view, which was right here in Cleveland. It was at Temple Live. And they did a cocaine spot. I thought it was cool at the time. And then I remember, oh, yeah, they have a deal with the CW.
Can I say my favorite award on this? Just kind of rolling down and looking at all this bullshit. Well, I have two of my favorites. The Bryan Danielson Award for Best Technical Wrestler went to Bryan Danielson. You love when you win the award that's named after yourself? Because that makes total fucking sense, right?
Of course. Of course.
And then my other favorite, because he finished like 1 and 2 in a bunch of categories, most overrated, Roman Reigns finished second on that list. Sonata was number 1. I don't know who that is, but it's just unbelievable. And then my personal favorite, you know this one, Best Television Announcer.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Fucking Excalibur wins Best Television Announcer. Just say.
Put the solo shot on Kyle. I have nothing to do with this.
Just say it's an AEW poll. Just say it. 1, take off your fucking mask. I'm sorry.
Not gonna take off the mask.
It doesn't make any sense. Nobody knows who you are from your time in PWG when you were like the 14th fucking match on the card. You loser. Take off your fucking mask. It makes no sense. Like, I hate going on the Jim Cornette type rants, but he is kind of right here. Who the fuck cares? We know one person because of a mask, and his name is Rey Mysterio. You're not Rey Mysterio. Take this shit off, please. He wouldn't be probably that bad.
It's a whole history of.
Oh, fuck his history. Fuck his history. We're not talking about Abraham Lincoln here. We're talking about fucking Excalibur. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I like Ian Riccaboni at 2. He's actually pretty good, the ROH guy. And then Kevin Kelly at 3. Well, again, it's an AEW poll, so there you go. But nevertheless,
he's fine. He was okay when Punk was.
This is fucked, by the way. Worst television announcer. Booker T being named the worst.
What?
He's bad. But at least he's entertaining. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man. I don't even know if he's back in NXT yet.
Poor Kevin Patrick at 2. I mean, he got a poor. And Jim Ross is 3rd for worst television. That's fucked up.
Well,
for everything he's done.
Well, but this is the 2023 awards, not all-time awards.
The problem is
all time he would be.
He's still better than fucking Excalibur, and he can't even get 2 sentences out. No,
I can't.
He's so bad.
I can't.
He's so bad. Hey. Read 3 bullet points about the wrestler no one fucking knows, and everyone's supposed to get him after you fucking say it, stupid. Because you do all your research, right? God, this guy's a fucking loser.
Excalibur right now is a tad bit better than Jim Ross.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't believe that.
I do.
You get some sleep, and you let me know how you feel in the morning.
I'll tell you the same thing.
Garbage. Absolute garbage. Yeah, Jim Ross post-cancer 3 times with Bell's palsy can still call a better match than fucking Excalibur. A bunch of garbage.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
No, he cannot.
You know why Jim Ross is automatically better? Because he's not wearing a fucking mask for no reason. That's why.
Okay, he has a cowboy hat. What's his gimmick?
It's his shtick. He's from Oklahoma. And we all know about it because we love Jim Ross. And he's barbecue sauce, and it's fantastic.
It is.
Fuck Excalibur. Where's your barbecue sauce, you mask-wearing bitch?
He ain't got no sauce.
Ain't
no difference.
Sure, you're a nice guy, but, dude, fuck the mask and fuck you. I can't. I can't.
I'll buy your mask tomorrow. ShopAEW.com. I'll buy it.
Mother fucking...
We're going to start making T-shirts.
What a fucking joke.
Fuck your barbecue.
Kyle burying Excalibur shirt.
It just a shirt that says, "Where the fuck's your barbecue sauce?"
On the back, just take off your fucking mask too. Also, I want to say this is
that could go over well in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
these days.
That sounds very 2020 of you there, Kyle.
Yeah, well, if the shoe fits, put it on and walk a mile in it, right? Nevertheless,
listen there, 2020.
Also, worst match of the year went to Bray Wyatt and LA Knight for the Martin Dude Pitch Black match. That's fucked up. Like Bray obviously
way to have that as a candidate.
So Pete, I know you don't know probably who Bray Wyatt is. He was 36. He was actually a really good wrestler. He just got back to WWE. Huge pop. Everybody loved him. He actually died from a heart attack, heart failure. 36 years old. Tragedy. Like dude was coming up to. He was really making a comeback, doing really well. So of course he gets rewarded with the worst match of the year award. Like fuck Dave Meltzer, dude. That is such a dick move. Like that shouldn't even be on the fucking thing. Like, the match wasn't great because it was a gimmick match. It's a fucking sponsor match. Like the Slim Jim Battle Royal. Who the fuck cares? But, like, the story behind it with the Wyatt family kind of rebirthing whatever it was with
Mhm.
Bo and all that stuff and Uncle Howdy, whatever. Like, there was more to it than just the match.
And even that.
And it actually it propelled LA Knight to
Yeah.
where he is.
It did the job.
So go fuck yourself, Dave, because that was fucked up.
And,
like,
and the fact that you have that match, you have him listed in that, and that's a vote. Disgusting.
Yeah.
But supposedly he has standards. Supposedly he has standards.
Yeah, supposedly. It's
Uh-huh.
fucking. At the end of the day, these awards mean absolutely nothing. I mean, they're voted on by like 5,000 people that
Yeah.
follow the Wrestling Observer newsletter. We're blowing it out of proportion a little bit, but still, it's kind of like the fact that this even exists
Yeah.
is just stupid. But like, it's
Who knows?
Dude, it's a damn shame.
Who knows? Next week we'll talk about Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and kind of where he were, and we're gonna see how
The
where
SmackDown
his
praise out, yeah.
involvement is with Rock and SmackDown. How that's gonna be coming up. Let's end with Sting. Why are you laughing? Sting is so.
Sting waited till the actual, like, legit retirement age to retire. He's 65, so now he's allowed to retire and get qualified for Social Security.
Sting did it right. Sting did it right.
Oh my god!
Hey,
and he's of course he's rewarding that by taking bumps through tables and jumping through shit because now Sting is indie, so that's fantastic. And he gets to go out wrestling two guys that never had proper fucking training, so that's great.
hey, at least the exit interview happened.
Jesus Christ, I missed that on we were recording.
Well, we both missed it because it's taped, but I knew that was happening.
Oh, they taped this? That wasn't live?
I don't know.
I thought Dynamite was live.
It-
They're not doing Revolution in fucking London, are they? They're doing it in the States, I thought.
Yeah,
What a joke.
but anywho,
Fucking Young Bucks, dude.
Sting has had a phenomenal career. Sting's the one guy who's tried his entire career to avoid WWE and should be commended for it. I mean, the fact that most of his career happened in WCW, then TNA, and then these last couple of years with AEW.
He spent a good stretch
that
in
should
WWE,
be
though.
commended.
He did spend a good
And he
stretch.
did.
Yeah, he actually fought for a world title at one point, of course. Seth hurt him, but she forgave him for that. But, I mean, he's in a WWE Hall of Fame. So, obviously, because they absorbed WCW too, but that's beside the point. Like, yeah, he was kind of one of those guys that kind of just steered clear.
Mhm.
There's a couple of them. I have a strange feeling now MJF is going to start turning into that guy. Like, he's kind of like AJ for a while there. Now AJ's like the consummate WWE guy, but before it was like, oh,
He's Mr. TNA.
AJ's never going to step foot.
Yeah.
He'll go to New Japan or he'll go to Ring of Honor or he'll go
Mm-hmm.
to MLW. He's not going to go to WWE. And now he's been in WWE for what, 8 years?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's
to think
already
about.
wrestled more matches at WWE than TNA.
Yeah.
Just they travel more and stuff.
Yeah, and won more championships, did a whole bunch of stuff. So
Sting was never. There was a brief moment at TNA where he was a heel, briefly, with Main Event Mafia, and I mean brief.
yeah,
I mean, like, by association, he was a heel, but it never materialized, and he turned back to being a babyface. Him and Rey Mysterio, I think, are the only two wrestlers who have gone their entire careers as babyfaces, essentially.
Cena. Well, so the prototype was kind of, and then so the rapper Cena thing.
Mm-hmm.
He technically was a face. Like he was presenting
Well,
himself
he was
as a
a heel at first, and then
It just got over so quick that it was like, okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, Ray never. I don't think Ray's ever turned, has he?
He might have in like the dying days of WCW, but he was all of his WWE run. He's been a babyface.
Yeah.
Maybe a bad father, but he's no. But he's
Hey, shout out to Dom, by the way. He's capitalized. If it's a being him versus Gunther at WrestleMania, what a card! What a pull it!
Hey, Dom's doing work. Dom is doing work. Put some respect to his name. He's doing work. But I'll say this about Sting, though, real quick. Sometime Sting has had a Hall of Fame career. Sting is one of the elite superstars in the history of professional wrestling. But sometimes bad booking will do you in, and you cannot, and that's that.
Nothing like going on your sword and losing the championships to two guys that don't deserve it.
Well, that's I hope they have a great match, but in a way that's irrelevant.
What did Darby say? The most important part of your story is the ending.
Yeah.
Way to set him up to fucking fail on that one, Darby.
True. Unless Darby turns. But,
Fuck. Well, then that's a whole other story you wish you could tell, because Darby versus Sting would have been a great way to end his fucking career, not end it with the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah.
Which is like Ric Flair and Darby turning on.
But with Sting, he should have beat Hogan clean in 97. It was Starrcade. And sometimes when you and this is why we're so hard on AEW, because we have seen bad booking with WCW and WWE at times too, when bad booking will knock down even the greats. And when you have an NWO storyline that's built, that's legendary, like just built fantastic for a year and a half, 2 years, in the right move, the right call, Sting beating Hogan clean, Starrcade 97. It's there for the taking. Sting takes out the NWO, and you screw up the finish, do the politics backstage. And Sting was the ultimate good guy. Sting took one for the team. But on one side, Hogan didn't want to lose the match. Then you were supposed to have a fast count. But then the referee, Nick Patrick, has a regular count. Then the announcers say it was a fast count, even though our own two eyes see that's a normal count.
If you have to ask this many questions about a match, yeah, that's probably not the best.
And then Bret Hart comes down and says this is wrong. But at the same time, it was a normal count. But the announcer said it was a fast count. These are the things when you have the wrong people running your organization and they don't catch these things, will destroy your company. Think about how differently the Monday Night Wars could have been if they would have booked Sting to win that match clean. No nonsense. If you wanted Bret Hart involved, he should have been a special guest referee from the start.
Well, he shouldn't have got kicked in the head by Goldberg, then he could have actually had a career there.
And that could have happened.
He probably
too.
shouldn't have punched Vince either, so he wouldn't have been out for the first couple months with a broken hand, but that's
so many things. So many things.
All the what ifs.
So
yeah.
I respect Sting for being an ultimate company guy. He stuck it through all the way to the end with WCW. He did the best he could at TNA. Him coming over, I think Christian Cage added some legitimacy to TNA. Kurt Angle added some legitimacy to TNA.
Samoa Joe, those kind of guys, yeah.
But Sting was the name. And TNA, to their credit, back in the mid-2000s, they didn't try to get all the guys until later in the decade. then they got star hungry. But at that time, when they brought in Sting, Sting was the only, veteran that came in and had the name recognition and did his job.
It's kind of like Jericho in AEW. He was the one that put them on the map to get them to where they are now, where they're out doing NXT. They're still not on Raw and SmackDown levels, but they're up there. So he kind of put them in that spot, and then you kind of hope the guys like the MJFs and those ones build around it. MJF is kind of like to what AEW, what AJ Styles was to TNA.
Yeah.
Like he's that homegrown guy that's going to just blow him up. But yeah, I mean, hell of a career. Wish he was going out in a singles match against like Darby or something like that, but I mean.
If you want it to be a tag team match, cool. Maybe you kind of wish it was, It's unfortunate, too, because the Young Bucks, I mean, there was a clip, I didn't send it in time, but there are times where a talent or a team, they're booked so poorly that you change the channel. And there was a joke that the Young Bucks had between them and Tony Schiavone on Saturday about like $25 Amazon gift card or something. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't watch AEW, so I can't. I told you I can't.
But
especially with MJF hurt, like I can't. That was the one thing I looked forward to in the show. That and Tony Storm has pulled me in a little bit here and there, but like, I can't. I just go, dude, what the? It's like watching bad WWE over and over and over.
If I showed you the clip, and the clip's only like 20 seconds. If I showed you the clip, literally the clip is the Young Bucks made a joke to Tony Schiavone on Collision, the number 2 best show in professional wrestling,
According to the Wrestling Observer.
made a joke and said, "Hey, I have a $25 Amazon gift card for you, Tony Schiavone." You don't even know the context of the story.
But why?
And somebody will say, "Well, all you have to do is Google, and you'll know."
Fuck you. Help me there. I have to do more work. I'm supposed to watch your program to escape from my daily work, my daily jobs, to be able to enjoy entertainment and some professional wrestling. And you're gonna give me some half-ass bullshit skit and tell me to do more work to find out more about why the fuck you said what you said.
Can you imagine?
And it's not like a long, crazy story that I need
Yeah.
to be following. It's like a random fucking bullshit. It's like they're fucking being the Elite Show or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's all inside jokes and stuff nobody gets.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
Can you imagine telling my grandma while
Google
she's
it.
watching Young and the Restless, watching her stories, "Hey, Google the story."
I'll fucking show you, Google. She break her TV. Turn that shit off and go somewhere else.
All right. Let's go before the side hustle becomes the main hustle. See, I told you I remember.
I'm glad now you remember the show name. That's great.
I was making a proposal to Kevin Arnold for Voice of the Land. We're gonna do a crossover show at the other part of the studio, by the way.
There's bricks over there.
Yeah,
They're real, I promise.
yeah. We're gonna do a crossover show,
Israel knows.
and I'm proposing this idea to Kevin. And it's been a long day. I flat out.
He's like, yeah, we could do the Voice of the Land and the oh shit, what the name of that podcast again? I'm like sitting right there. I'm like, dude, really? Fucking rode a bike 2 miles here, and I can tell you what the name of our podcast is.
I'm gonna start my fitness journey. 30 pounds.
I'm excited, man. We're gonna be doing this together, kind of.
30 pounds.
Yeah, like we're gonna have our own. We have our own separate numbers we're trying to hit, but I'm excited for you. I know you can definitely do it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the transformation. Man.
I am at 220 right now. The goal is by August 28th, 2024, to be at 190.
And then for me, it's I'm at 305 right now ish. My goal is to be at 250.
And Pete's goal is for us to stop talking so he can go home.
Sounds about right.